Hello world, I'm LJ and this is LJ Goes Sweden. Today it's time to talk about my first yearly cost of driving a Tesla Model 3 Highland here in Sweden. Nearly 1 year ago I made a prediction video where I was trying to predict my monthly costs, and now it's actually a good time to compare my prediction to the reality. So let's stay tuned, and at the end I'm also gonna make a little prediction now for 2025. So let's see how close I am now in 1 year later. So in the beginning, just a short little summary of my deal that I made with a bank to drive this beautiful car. If you want to see more of this in detail, I really recommend you checking out my video from last year where I was talking in detail about all of these initial costs. So I have a bank loan where I gave an initial payment to Tesla and the bank basically now paid the rest. So I pay 36 months straight monthly payments, and in the end I have a last payment after those 3 years that I have to pay all at once. Maybe there are also other ways to extend the remaining money, but I'm planning to pay all the rest at once after now 2 years remaining. Okay, so first of all, the bank loan has actually changed massively. When I started paying off my monthly pays, I was at around 5% interest rate. Now actually it has reduced to 4%, which makes a change in those monthly payments. Whereas I had to pay like 4,570 SEK in the beginning last year, I am now only paying 1,470 SEK. So this is a change of like 400 SEK a month, which of course ends up in the total calculation. Besides this loan payment, of course, we have other monthly costs, where the biggest one is definitely the electricity cost. So last year I was buying this car with the hope that I might have the chance to charge it at home. It has not happened yet, unfortunately. I am still stuck on using superchargers only, besides the few rare occasions where I'm charging on a slower charger for free. But these are, I don't know, like 1% of my charging, I would say. In my prediction video, I was predicting that I'm gonna pay 2,000 SEK a month for electricity due to using superchargers. And now I actually have summed up my whole list of payments, and I was really surprised. Only 680 SEK, so translated to around like 60 euros a month for charging. Of course, there are a few reasons for that. First of all, I am not driving as much as I predicted. I only have made 18,000 this year. Also, one big factor that I actually have to take into account right here with charging is that I am not paying for my electricity since the beginning of the year in Sweden. So thank you very much again to Krista and Dimitri, who have used my referral link and therefore made it possible for me to drive for free using the superchargers. This is really a dream come true, having the opportunity. If you take this into account, my monthly costs of charging right now have actually decreased to 350 SEK, so around about like 30 euros per month, which is basically only last year's payment after I already got the initial 4,000 kilometers of free supercharging when I bought the car. If you are using those credits, keep in mind that they are only valuable in your own country, at least when you are using them for supercharging. That was something that I didn't know. From my predicted 2,000 crowns a month to only 350 crowns a month is a massive decrease, which I did not expect. So thank you very much to everyone who gives me support here. And even without these, only going to 600 crowns a month is still truly incredible. Of course, like I said, I have not driven the amount I was predicting, and at the same time also I have definitely done less driving in winter. And then we have 3 other values that I predicted, and of course they were still staying the same, which is the tax that you pay once a year, which was around about 3 euros, so 32 crowns a month. Then we have the internet, so the premium connectivity, which is 99 crowns. And we also have the insurance. And for the insurance, last year I paid 507 crowns a month, which converts to 44 euros. And this is actually now an interesting one because of course there was a lot of stuff going on this first half a year already with Elon's involvement in politics, and insurance companies have definitely increased prices, and also I am affected by this. The first year I paid 507 crowns. Now it has increased to 606 crowns, so 100 crowns more per month for my insurance, which converts to 54 euros per month for a health insurance. All in all, those monthly costs now go down to a total of 5,300 crowns, which converts to 470 euro a month. And this is really insane. If you just think about, basically nearly 400 euros go to the bank to pay the loan, and not even 100 euros more go for the rest, which is incredible. Of course, I don't really have any experience if this is a lot of money, if this is like not a lot of money. If I compare it to like an ICE, a used ICE car, if you're driving an ICE car or just a used Tesla, like with a few years and you know the maintenance cost, maybe you can give me some figures. Because this year I haven't paid for any maintenance. I did one service appointment in Umeå. If you want to see my experience, you can check that out up there. I actually had to go there because my Tesla logo came off during winter. They fixed it, of course, under warranty, so all fine. There you have my monthly costs from last year, 5,300 crowns, 470 euro a month, which is, if you compare it to my prediction, 150 euros less. So I predicted 7,150 crowns a month, and now I am at 5,300. So I have also added all the other costs that I had over this whole year. And I'm gonna add all the things that I also had to pay in the initial first weeks. So like registration costs and fees, because in the first year you have these fees. Of course, next year they're gonna be zero. But first of all, we had some fees for the bank, for the loan to fix stuff, which is around about 70 euros. We had the fees for the Trafikverket, so the Swedish traffic department, which was around like 16 euros to fix the license plate and register the car. And then I have fees that are coming from traveling. So for example, I have the Öresund subscription because I'm driving to Germany at least once a year. So I have paid 555 SEK for that first year, which is like 50 euros. And then I can get discount for the Öresund bridge and also the Storebælt bridge, which are the bridge to Copenhagen and then to the main Central European land. So Öresund bridge, both direction is around like 48 euros with the discount from the subscription, and the Storebælt bridge is around 54 euros for both directions. And then we have two more additional costs that I of course had to pay. First of all, I was traveling through Norway, and Norway has tolls. I was in Norway for 1 week and I wasn't really sure how much I'm gonna pay for all my traveling there. Because you see those digital boards which say like, when you drive through here now you pay 200 crowns and things like these, and you're like, ooh, that's gonna be expensive. So after a few months I got the receipt, and for my Norway 1 week traveling I pay 655 crowns, so also nearly 60 euros, which is of course money, but it was worth. Norway is such a beautiful country and I love driving through those fjords. Amazing. And in the end, something that you should not forget, which is the tire changing. So from summer to winter tires and then from winter to summer tires. Of course you could do it yourself, but I am doing it at a service. I take the tires home, so it's really just the changing. For both changes I paid in total 690 crowns, which converts to 61 euros. If you now sum up all the other costs, we end up at like nearly 4,000 crowns, so 350 euros. And if we now combine all the other costs with our monthly costs, take that times 12, we end up in my first year of driving a Tesla Model 3 Highland rear-wheel drive at around 68,000 crowns, which is a bit more than 6,000 euro for the first year of driving a Tesla. It's a lot of money. If you just think about it, you pay 6,000 euros a year for just having this car, but at the same time, it's worth. Like I said, I don't have any comparison, I don't have any like value to compare it to. So if you have like your yearly cost for whatever car you're driving, Feel free to write that down in the comments. It could really be the case that if you're driving like a used ICE and you fix all the like repair, like the maintenance stuff yourself, that you're gonna be lower. But of course you also pay more for fuel. In the end, maybe it's not even that different. So yeah, I'm curious, so feel free to write that down in the comments. I have also now done the calculation for the whole next year, of course based on the values that I have right now, the new insurance payments, also the new tax payments and all of these things. And I also decided to choose the same amount for the electricity as I put now for the year before, so 350 crowns a month. I am not gonna pay too much this year when I'm living in Sweden. Of course, when I'm traveling outside of Sweden, I'm gonna pay. So there's gonna be some payments. So based on this estimation, I am predicting that I'm gonna pay in total next year 66,000, which ends up at around 5,850 euro in total. And talking about monthly fees, this would be nearly the same, so around like 470 euros, or in crowns speaking, 5,266 crowns. It's gonna be a bit cheaper due to the fact that I have to pay less for the bank loan, but yeah, we don't know what's gonna happen. So it might be that it's increasing again. Like I said, the insurance has increased, but we will see. We have to wait. So that is my little talk with a lot of numbers. Thank you very much for checking this video out. I hope you have a better understanding now. Maybe you can actually make your own calculations here based on my payments, that you might be considering moving to an electric vehicle or a Tesla. Give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. And if you are in need of a new Tesla, feel free to use my affiliate link. But now everything is said, guys, so I hope you have a wonderful summer. We're gonna see each other back in the next video. But until then, have a good one. Bye bye.